Now let's move on to creatine powder. For this one, creatine works differently from protein supplements as its general function is increase energy production during high intensity workouts. Essentially, this extra energy helps you lift heavier weights and improve your overall muscle strength. Creatine is a substance that is naturally found in small amounts in foods like meat and fish, and it is also produced by the body in the liver, kidneys, and pancreas. However, the amount from food alone is usually not enough for athletes or individuals doing intense training, which is why creatine supplements are commonly used. Moving on to its ingredients, we have creatine monohydrate. According to the International Society of Sports Nutrition, or ISSN, this is considered to be the most effective nutritional supplement for increasing lean muscle mass when used alongside proper training. Inside your muscles, energy is considered to be a currency called adenosine triphosphate. ATP is an energy molecule that your body uses to power almost all cellular activities, especially muscle contractions. It has a chemical formula of C10, H16, N5, O13, and P3, while its chemical structure is the structure of ATP is made of three parts: adenine, a nitrogen containing base, ribose, a sugar molecule, and three phosphate groups, a chain of phosphates attached to the ribose. Out of three parts, the most important is the three phosphate groups because they are connected by high energy bonds. Based on its structure, the function of ATP is centered on its ability to store energy within the bonds of its three phosphate groups. And to harness this energy, the body initiates a process called hydrolysis, where one phosphate group is chemically detached. This reaction releases the stored energy for cellular use and transforms the molecule into ADP, or adenosine diphosphate. Basically, during high intensity workouts, your ADP turns into ADP with the chemical formula of C10, H15, N5, O10, and P2, and the chemical structure of. Because ATP is constantly being broken down into ADP during intense exercise, the body needs a quick way to restore it. And this is where creatine monohydrate comes in. It gives its phosphate group to ADP, instantly recharging it back to its main function ATP. And this allows your muscles to maintain energy production for short, powerful bursts of activity like lifting or sprinting. Flavoring and artificial sweeteners. Some creatine powders include flavoring and artificial sweeteners to make the supplement taste better. Additionally, it is important to know that the effectiveness of a creatine mainly comes from the creatine itself, and not the added flavoring. Another important thing to remember is that creatine is not an acute stimulant like caffeine. It does not produce an immediate physiological effect. Instead, it functions through muscular saturation, meaning its benefits only manifest once your internal stores are fully topped up through consistent daily use over several days or even weeks. And consequently, maintaining a consistent daily habit is far more critical to its efficacy than the specific time of day you consume it. Similar to whey protein, creatine is usually ingested in powder form, mixed with water or fruit juice. Because of the osmotic nature of creatine, meaning it pulls water into your muscle cells, it is recommended to increase water intake throughout the day to avoid dehydration. The most effective approach is a maintenance dose of approximately 3 grams per day of creatine monohydrate. This consistent daily intake ensures that the muscle tissues remain fully saturated, supporting long-term strength and athletic performance. For most creatine powder products, the amount of creatine can be found at the back of the packaging. Alternatively, some individuals utilize a loading phase to accelerate the process. This involves consuming roughly 20 grams per day, partitioned into smaller doses, for a duration of 5 to 7 days. And after this, the user transitions back to the standard maintenance dose of 3 to 5 grams per day. However, the loading phase is not required, and consistent daily intake alone can still produce the same benefits over time.
But the real question is, are these supplements indeed effective? Well, according to research and clinical studies, because whey protein supplements contain high quality and high levels of amino acid rich proteins, it promotes the maximization of muscle protein synthesis, or MPS, in the human body. In other words, it is the optimal supplement to aid in muscle mass gain and growth and enhance any exercise induced benefits. Furthermore, the study done by Naclario and Sejo suggests that whey protein can help active individuals meet their daily required intake of protein because it is more digestible than other protein rich foods. However, as good as the supplement sounds, whey protein powder should be used as supplements and should not replace daily meals. Now, if whey protein is for building muscles and creatine is the energy source, what happens when you take them both at the same time? Does one interfere with the other? With that, let's move on to the next part.